Too many questions remain, Alistair. I intend to find answers. Mallory's death will be avenged.
Do not fall prey to dark thoughts of retribution. That way madness lies.
The Order 1886's existence is a beacon of hope within the new generation. Endless remasters, endless moaning about remasters, and a continued focus on safe sequels hasn't been as reassuring as the last set of consoles, where new ideas both blossomed and failed. The Order 1886's relatively fresh time period and astonishing visuals made it become one of the sole attendees of the PS4's welcoming party in a time where it was most needed. But a new franchise and pretty graphics can only take you so far, so how far does it take the Order 1886? Let's find out here in this video review of the Order 1886.
So much for keeping this friendly.
Damn it, I'm in no mood to jest. You said you had proof. Where is it?
Upon diving into the game, it's hard not to get immediately mesmerized by the visuals. High-powered hardware and skilled artists ensure that most games look incredible, which makes the upcoming praise for the Order's visuals that much more meaningful. Developer Ready at Dawn has made sure that old-timey London is one of the best lit, most detailed locales in video game history, with each pot, pan, pillar, table, candle, wall, and every other piece of geometry containing a ludicrous amount of detail that shapes the best that gaming has to offer. While it isn't the most engaging mechanic, picking up objects and rotating them is an overt way for Ready at Dawn to brag about its technical chops. And if every trinket looked this rad, I'd want to brag too. The patched in photo mode is a perfect fit since it lets you capture the game in all of its stunning detail, framing each shot in a way that shows off its pretty visuals while allowing for that special personalized touch that every photo mode allows. Visually speaking, the characters are as similarly respected as the places they inhabit. Even though you can't pick them up and slowly rotate them, characters and faces animate realistically, never dipping into the uncanny valley, nor looking like cheap pantomimes of actual human beings. Long draped cloth sways appropriately as they move, and the small detailed animations do wonders in making the game look more believable. All of this window dressing is a nice way to disguise how bland and uninteresting all of it really is. The Order is made up of an actual order of nigh immortal knights that protect and serve in a way that the law won't do. Then the rebels start, well, rebelling, and then the Lycan wolf people show up and, well, it's all connected somehow. It glosses over how everything works together, even though it gives you some of the puzzle pieces of a greater, more intriguing story. The latter third's relative allure and intrigue trumps the first two acts, but the extremely sluggish pacing drags down the game at all times. The Order focuses heavily on cutscenes, with QuickTime events sometimes being the singular interaction for multiple consecutive minutes. That alone is not an inherently negative trait. Games like Heavy Rain and The Wolf Among Us have shown us how that can work and work extremely well. A lot of cutscenes can work too. Games like Metal Gear Solid and The Last of Us show that a cinematic focus can work in the game's favor. But these examples all have great pacing and likable characters that make these scenes more than pretty breaks in the action. The Order doesn't get to call any of its characters likable or interesting. Even the underutilized goofy Frenchman is neutered and sent to the sidelines in favor of other driveling, self-serious members of the cast that begin to blend together into one sterile pile of boredom. A range of emotions and moods would round everyone out, and better writing would do just that. That doesn't happen here though. What we are left with are long, beautiful, unskippable cutscenes with melodramatic people that rarely stray away from bickering with one another in a deathly serious tone. These scenes lead into the gameplay, which is a term that I use pretty loosely here. The game follows a strict formula: cutscene, walk around, pick up a thing, rotate it, walk around more, pick up another thing, and then shoot some dudes. Splicing in some segments where you must slowly pace around and pick up the most banal objects is not the best way to bookend mundane cutscenes. It goes too long without any sort of action to pick up the pace, which is where the cover-based shooting could save this whole ordeal. It could save this whole ordeal, it does not. Shooting sticks to the familiar cover-based template, with the cliche meter-based slow-motion shooting being the only mechanic that doesn't adhere so closely to the most basic blueprint of the genre. Shooting feels fine, and the handful of inventive fictional weapons periodically lift the game above its cookie-cutter design. However, the narrow level design, slightly sluggish movements, and the overall lack of strategy make these respites from the cutscenes average at best. Average would be a godsend for the binary, straight out of 1998 stealth missions. The Order does the player the disservice of making most of these stealth missions instant fails, immediately killing the player if one guard so much as looks in your general direction. Because of this, even these playable sections feel like extensions of the plentiful QuickTime events because of how strictly everything is laid out. The video games shouldn't be movies argument is played out and, quite frankly, pretty stupid, and even though the argument still doesn't hold any legitimacy, games like The Order 1886 are likely to be brought up as prime examples for that misguided crowd. Its focus on cutscenes, story, and QuickTime events are probably going to be the listed reasons why games should stay more gamey. But that isn't the issue. The real issue is its focus on boring cutscenes, a banal story, and an overabundance of poorly implemented QuickTime events in addition to the short, non-replayable campaign, unlikable cast, and ho-hum gameplay sections. The Order 1886 couldn't get its cinematic or its gameplay angle right. The fact that it tries to be more filmic than most games should be besides the point. The Order 1886 gets a 5 out of 10. Thank you all for watching, and my name is Michael Larry, and I'm signing off. See ya!
Not this time, Izzy. And you do well to stay clear of me. For your own good.